month or so? What kind of influences he had, and how has he helped you out?
He's been really good. He's been in all the meetings. He's been at practice. He's been helping me out a lot. So again, our relationship has been great ever since he's gotten here. Um, and I understand it must be tough on him the last several weeks, but he's put that aside and he's helped me out a lot. So it's a lot of credit to him and it speaks to his character.
Not football related, but tomorrow's Thanksgiving. You guys don't have to have Thanksgiving off in the NFL. So what are your plans and what food are you most looking forward to?
I'll be going over to Carson's with a number of players and their families, and see, I'm a big ham guy. I rather have ham than turkey. Obviously the stuffing, pumpkin pie at the end. So it'll be a good deal. Maybe a couple Busch Lights.
Oh, so what you said you're not really into turkey. What other food is it just like absolutely not, never trying it, not eating it?
I don't know. I'm kind of a texture guy, so whatever's weird, I'll probably stay away from. Yep.
You have the Sean Taylor hat on. He's a legend around here. Do you remember watching him growing up, and what kind of stories have you heard about him since playing in this area?
Yeah, I was pretty young when everything happened, but I do remember him being a problem on the field. Really good player, and again, it's very unfortunate what happened. It's like the 20th anniversary, 15th. So I saw that the little thing that they're doing for him at the stadium, which is super cool. And it's nice that we honor him in that way. So hopefully we can go out there and get a win for him on Sunday.
Ron was talking about how fun it is to have games this late in the season mean something. Knowing that there's 6-7 games left and all of them are going to really matter, just what's your mindset and how great is it to just be in the mix like this?
Yeah, I try and make every game the same. I think that's how we play well. But again, I've been on teams where you get to this part of the season and you're already out of the playoffs, and it's not fun. You come to work every day and you're kind of wondering, why am I here? If we win, it doesn't really matter. So to be in this position, it's really fun. The guys are excited about it, and anytime you're in the playoff race and you kind of control your own destiny, it's really fun. So the guys are really juiced about that.
Carson is hosting you guys for Thanksgiving. Obviously, he came in as the leader, got hurt and all that, but what does it mean for him to do something like that still and still be kind of that kind of central focus?
Yeah, again, he's been a great teammate ever since he's gotten here, and even more so, he's a great person. So to have us all at his house, it's going to be really nice. And again, we really haven't had time to do that and have a lot of people outside of the facility and really get together and do this type of stuff. So it'll be really fun tomorrow, and I think we're all going to enjoy it.
All right, I got sneaker questions for you. Do you enjoy that this has kind of become a thing, a sort of a social media thing that folks around the country know that you have this beating a team get the sneaker thing?
Yeah, I never really meant it to get this big, but I am enjoying it now. There's some perks right now that I'm very much enjoying. But yeah, it's a cool deal, and I think the coolest part about it is it doesn't take away from football. It's very football related, and it's kind of just a little present for us winning. And I think maybe it gets those guys going a little bit more. I think I got the tight end some shoes this week. If we win this week, it's the running back's turn. So they're going to be really excited, and hopefully they run the ball a little bit harder this weekend.
When do you start thinking about what shoe you're going to get? Is it after you win? Is it before a weekend? Is it after a game? Like, is it on the plane? When do you start thinking of those?
It's always after the game. It's usually when I get on the bus on away games or in the parking lot after the game at home games. I think it's bad juju if I look at it before the game. So I'll usually always wait after the game.
What's your favorite so far?
The ones you've gotten. Probably the ones after this last Houston game. I've been looking at those for a long time and was too scared to pull the pin, but after that win, I feel like it was necessary.
Sticking with clothes, the F It Terry down there shirt, who kind of came up with that idea and the design and everything there?
It's actually a funny story. So after that Packer game, that picture came out, and I have a group chat with all my buddies from high school, about 12 of us, and we're on a fantasy football team league together. And they post that picture like, dude, you should make a shirt from this. And I was like, I kind of blew it off. And I started thinking about it more after like the Indy game where I threw it up to him, after the Philly game where I threw it up to him, and I was like, this is actually a good deal. So I contacted my agent, kind of gave him a graphic of what I kind of wanted to do, and we kind of ran with it. And yeah, I think it's a pretty cool shirt. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from it. So hopefully, we see some of those shirts in the stands this weekend.
The guys in the group chat get free ones, or are they going to have to pay full freight?
Nah, they'll get some free ones. They're not getting any money, so.
Last one for me. You hear sometimes that teams are built to win in November and December. Do you buy into that idea? And do you think that this team is one with the personality you're developing that can win kind of here in the colder weather, tougher games?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing, but you don't try and look at it like that. But again, the teams that go win Super Bowls, they can run the ball well and they have a good defense, and that's what we've been doing for weeks now. So again, there's a lot of room to improve on both sides of the ball, but we feel good right now, and we're very confident. So as long as we just keep doing what we're doing, I think we'll be all right.
Obviously, last year Atlanta was a really big game for you. Are you going to have a lot of family and friends travel and make the trip up here?
No, not this game. Mom and stepdad will come up, but that's about it. I think with it being Thanksgiving weekend, a lot of people are trying to stay home with family, but I'm sure they'll be watching.
Beyond the shoes, you said that you obviously had the Vans and the Converse, and now the shirt as well. Were you a fashionable person before? Is this surprising to you?
This is surprising to me, big time. If you ask anybody that knew me in high school, college, this is totally different Taylor. But again, I think the sneakers really kind of pushed me into that, side of whatever you want to call it. But yeah, after 2020, when the guys were giving me a bunch of crap for just wearing Vans and Converse all the time, I really started looking at the sneakers, and then after that, I need clothes to match it. So then I really started getting into it. So the last couple of years, I've gotten into it.
For you, do you guys feel like in the red zone, is that something where the drives are stalling out just for whatever reason, or is that something in that area specifically that you want to fix or get tweaked?
Watching film, you see certain looks and you kind of come up with plays for those looks, and sometimes maybe the defense will give you a different look than what you're hoping for. And specifically on Sunday, it was unfortunate right there before half, the 2-minute, we only had one timeout, and we were sitting there on I think the 6-yard line with maybe 20-something seconds. And if you have all 3 timeouts, you're able to run the ball and maybe be more flexible with what you want to do. So, obviously in that situation, you can't run the ball. I mean, you gotta try and fit it in there. And if you go back and look at it, they're just playing cover 2, and the couple plays that we called just didn't have that cover 2 beater on it. So, it was just one of those things. But again, we need to be better in the red zone, and I think we will be.
Take 2 more. As a backup quarterback instead of a third stringer, how much more can you kind of learn in offense since you're not running the scout team as much? And kind of in the moment over the past couple of weeks, do you see kind of Sam Howell starting to understand what the team is trying to do on offense more and getting it because he's playing it a little bit more?
Yeah, so there's a pretty big difference between third string and backup. Third string, you don't really get much reps. You get a lot of mental reps, which is great, but there's nothing like game speed, getting in there in the pocket with guys, flying around. So, speaking on Sam, I mean, since the moment he's gotten here, he's been very impressive. The guy can sling it. He works hard at it. He understands what we're trying to do. So, God forbid he has to go in sometime this year. We have a lot of confidence in him. He's a great player, great quarterback. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in this league for a long time.
Speaking of the before the half scenarios, for you guys to get more aggressive, I think it's just in the last 2 weeks. What does that mean to you, and what is allowing you to be, I guess, more successful when you are kind of pushing the tempo?
You mean like the 2-minute offense?
Yeah, I guess earlier in the year you guys were a little more conservative, especially in those situations. But the last 2 weeks, I think you've pushed to you kick a field goal or just get some points before the half.
Yeah. Again, football is a crazy sport, and you see it week in, week out. Every point matters. So, if you have 40 seconds left, maybe one timeout, if you can sneak in and get a field goal there at the end, that's huge. Kind of like what we did against Philly, getting that field goal right before half. You look at the end of the game. It was a 6-point game, I think, at the end. And if he doesn't make that, all they have to do down is kick a field goal and go to overtime. So every point matters. So when we have an opportunity to go score, we're going to try and do it. So I think every team will tell you the same. Thanks, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Where are you in those